I'm American, arrogant, throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system taints it. But when we speak, they all laugh at us, and y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defined, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. At every bar, even though my bar's been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Every time. Let it breathe. Let it breathe! Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday. Hanging with the fellas. Little sports nonsense and whiskey coming to you live. Pinky, Robert, how we doing this evening, gentlemen?
It's good to be back. I miss you, boys.
We miss you too,
A
Robert.
little bit different when one of us isn't here, for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to kick this off real quick. Pinky, I know we got plenty of NFL to discuss. I know.
Lots.
I know. And there's some other things we'll mention along the way.
Lots.
Now, I'm going to blast this off right now. If you haven't been paying attention, Bam Adebayo went off tonight. My man is at 79. Is he at 79 now? I didn't update just yet. Where are we at, Pinky?
79.
79. How much time's left?
Minute and 44.
Minute 44. My man's in range of Kobe. He's in range of Kobe and ready to pass. Bam Adebayo's underrated. Did I think this was possible? No. Which makes it even better. I am loving every minute of this.
Let's just be honest. His own mama didn't think this was possible, okay?
Yo.
We've watched enough Bam Adebayo games. Like, 40 seems like a good, like, he could hit 40. I could believe that. 79 with, like, 39 free throw attempts and 7-3. Like, what are we, like, what's happening?
Ridiculous.
Special night. And the fact that game is not aired on national television right now somewhere to find and watch the end of it is crazy to me.
Dude, if he breaks Kobe's record, that is insane. Because we got Will Chamberlain at 100. And like
that all the new gen questions because there's no video evidence.
Well,
they don't even believe it exists.
Will Chamberlain was like 7 foot playing against like 6 foot unathletic weight guys.
No, that's not true. That's I'm not true. It's not true. There are plenty of dudes. He was just the tallest or one of the. There were big dudes still back then. He was just
Caleb.
He was just that good.
You know how stories go, and they grow and grow.
I know.
The longer we get from them, okay. So
look, the man averaged 50 a season. Like that's documented. Nobody questions that. So if you think he couldn't go out and grab 100,
Bam
I feel like
Adebayo,
it's very within the realm of possibilities.
Bam Adebayo going back to the free throw line.
Yes. Come on.
What does that do? That stops the clock. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking. All right. We will be continuously monitoring this as we move forward until this game ends because it's how do you not love this? Pinky, also, cheers, dude. Solid graphic work, grabbing that this quickly right away to throw up there, knowing what was coming from me. You knew I wasn't going to not mention it.
He's at 81. He's at 81.
What?
He's at 81.
How much time?
Minute and a half.
Yo, dude. Dude.
He's breaking this record.
I'm insane. Absolutely insane.
Okay. They fouled the Wizards guy. That's what I would do. I would foul the Wizards, send them back to the free throw line, get the ball back to Bam. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
When you're this close to the record, you got to break the record. It's like Terrell Davis with bruised ribs going for 2,000 yards. Like the O-linemen say, we don't care that he was banged up. He's got to get 2,000 yards.
Yeah, dude, you got to when something like this starts happening, you feel it, you let him go. If the other team doesn't want to be on the wrong side of history, then you don't let it happen.
Right. Don't let him score.
Either Bam is on such a heater that it doesn't matter, or they're not playing as good a defense as they could. either way, it's a spectacular feat.
Well, I don't know the last time 41 free throw attempts. Like, I don't know the last
That
time
I
I've
can't
seen
even
that.
like. That's beyond absurd.
Like,
Like
stupid.
I can't. There's not even like a comparison for other things in other sports to give you an idea of how wild that many free throws is in one game. There's nothing else that compares.
I'm sad we haven't watched this game. Like, I don't know how he's like 7 3-pointers, 37 free throws. He's got 81. He's tied the record. We need him to get one more point to break the record. And tell
a minute
Kobe,
24. You know they're probably throwing doubles at him now. They're not going to let him go after Kobe.
Dude, he's just going to
you know that ain't happening.
It's happening. It's happening, and we're here for it, boys. We are here for it.
Hell yeah. 81. Sports history. Let's go.
Insane, dude.
Let's go.
Come on.
They just fouled again to put the Wizards at the free throw line to try and get the ball back.
Yeah.
I love this.
No,
I absolutely love this.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock.
Get your boy the ball and let's go.
So
everybody knows. Man. Everybody knows the assignment. This isn't a situation where somebody doesn't understand. This isn't a situation where that one dude who didn't do any of the work is still getting an A on that group project. This is everybody putting in work and knows the assignment.
Crystal Ray.
Caleb is feeling it.
Crystal Ray loves it. That's what I like to see.
Washington's making a little run. They're within 20 now. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said they're going to do it, Caleb. Don't doubt them. Don't doubt.
Anthony Gill.
What a shame that would be.
Did Anthony Gill foul Bam? Is Bam back at the line?
I don't know. I'm paying attention to it on Bleacher. So yes,
Bam is
at the line.
I'm paying attention through you guys.
He's back at the line. He did it. He broke it.
Yes. Dude, that's absurd. It's absolutely. I can't wait to watch these highlights tonight. Cannot wait to watch it. Kobe going on 81. Like listening to Jalen Rose talk about that is like there was nothing you're gonna do to stop it, and he hates that. He hates that he was part of that, and that was absurd when Kobe went 81. I remember watching that game. There's so many things about the free throws, the fact that it's Bam and not somebody who you think of as a scorer, like we already mentioned. The fact that they left him in the game. How often do you see coaches pull or organizations pull guys when they're within reach of some of these things? And
I really wish he had enough time to get 100. I really wish we had enough time.
Hey, if he keeps getting fouled, it could happen.
Dude, I just 83.
Crazy.
Again, his own mama didn't think he could score 83 points. And, mom thinks you can do everything. Oh.
I don't have so many things we could talk about, and I would end up taking the next 30 minutes away from what we had originally planned. So, here we go. They finally live look in. Finally,
they took him
finally
out.
Get my live look in after he breaks the record.
And they took him out. So 83 points. Bam Adebayo. Congrats. I believe Junior actually has a Bam Adebayo jersey.
They were quadruple teaming him on the inbounds right before he got the last foul. To try and keep him from getting the ball. Quadruple teaming him to try and keep him from breaking the record. So Washington was putting in some effort.
That's crazy.
Dude, think about this. Knowing you have 81 and tied Kobe, now you got to go to the line and step forward and hit 2. And he did. That's legit. That's some pressure. That's a high pressure situation if you think about it in those regards. Everybody knows what's going on.
Right.
Everybody knows.
Man.
Damn, dude.
I feel like the rest of the shit we're going to talk about doesn't really matter. But
I mean, hey, we can talk nonsense. It's fine.
So,
dude,
all right.
83 points. I don't care how you get there. I do not care how you get there. I don't care that a little over half of them were free throws. That means you still had to go get close to 40 anyways through alternative means. To get that many points in a 48-minute game. Think about that. He almost had 2 points for every minute of basketball. Like, this is what I'm talking about. If we don't stop now, I'm going to go deep dive, number crazy, breaking this down, and it's going to get so much fun. But I don't know if you guys want to follow me on that journey right now.
We've got to move on. We have a jam-packed show. I got to keep you on track, Caleb. All right. Are we ready?
Bam. Thank you for allowing this, Pinky. Bam.
Here's the Bam. Most points in the modern era.
Hot damn.
All right. You guys ready for some shit?
83.
In between our podcast this last week, Max Crosby got traded to the Ravens, which was a magnificent deal. It was amazing.
It actually felt, I know a lot of people were poo-pooing it from the Ravens, but it felt like a win-win to me.
I mean, you're giving up what? Late round picks? Like late first round picks? Who cares? Like, you need a pass. Like, the one thing that the Ravens have not had on their defense in years is like a legitimate, don't need to scheme a guy to get a sack. He can just go do it himself. They haven't had that guy in a long, long time since Terrell Suggs. I would reckon they've had some guys that can get 10 sacks a year, 12 sacks maybe, a couple of them here and there, but that's usually based on scheme. Max Crosby, it doesn't matter what scheme you got. He's getting sacks. That dude's all gas, no brakes. So comes out today. He failed his physical.
Damn.
And they have rescinded the trade.
I have a hard time believing that's what actually is the issue.
Are you?
You will not be able to convince me, unless Max Crosby misses this whole next season, you will not be able to convince me that this wasn't the Ravens getting cold feet and deciding they overpaid or they listened to the media or something. Because I do not believe there is unless proven wrong, that there is a health issue that would keep Max Crosby off the field and continuing to produce at the level he did.
He did have a meniscus that he still wasn't quite healthy from that, but they traded for him knowing that. So my assumption is they're docking him for something else. But also I feel like they got buyer's remorse. They got that contract, they gave up the picks, and then they were like, oh, wait a minute. Now, this screws the Raiders epically.
I don't think it's just the Raiders. Now, yes, it hurts them on like the top of the pyramid, right? I fully agree with you there, Pinky. I am though, like the ripple effect is. When was the last time, if ever, we've seen anything like this happen?
Dude, think about all the teams.
Going to be absurd.
All the teams that would have been in on that. The trade happens, and then they go spend their money on pass rushers elsewhere, which aren't as good. I know the Commanders gave Owe. I don't remember where he played last year, but they gave him $100 million.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, the whole reason this can be rescinded still, part of the reason I should say, the physical failing would have rescinded it anyways, right? But it's still the legal tampering period. Free agency has not officially started. So technically, correct me if I'm wrong, but none of these contracts are official. Nobody can sign on the dotted line yet. So everything could move still, could it not?
So everything could still technically move because you could basically renege on the deal. Now, that's bad business for a player or a team. It's happened before. It's rare, but it does happen. but I don't see that. It's bad business for you as a team to do that.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. And I know in the past when it's happened, it's been bad business because it's a party going back on their word for not much of a reason, if you will. This is a valid reason to say we have to pivot. We apologize. We know it's a bad look. We are sorry. But we have to pivot and try to do this first, and then we can come back and see if we can still do the deal with you. That's the conversation that should be being had right now if you were at all originally interested in Max Crosby. And something you and I were talking about off air, like if I'm the Broncos, if I'm the Chargers, if I'm the Chiefs, like you said, Pinky, the Ravens have to move him or they're going to be in a world of hurt now because everything they've done was based on the fact that trade opened up cap space and brought picks back. If they don't move him, they're going to have to bring him back and then redo everything they had in place for free agency to start and sign those deals.
Mm-hmm.
So hang on real quick. Where I'm going with this is I think even in division, Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, and within conference, anybody else that was interested. And then obviously the NFC, but I think you have an opportunity now to get a discount, Max Crosby. Yeah. You know what the 2 first was. I think you can go now and undercut that offer unless the Raiders are willing to just eat it and say, screw it, we're taking another year to try to get things right. I mean, that would be foolish of them considering they finally were willing to pull the Band-Aid off, rip the Band-Aid off, I should say, and trade him. So I think you can go in there now and undercut the original deal, and you could get, a little bit of a steal, if you will, here.
So the Raiders, I'm going to break this down real quick for you, Caleb. The Raiders took that Max Crosby money and some extra money they had to spend, and they spent.
Yes, they gave 208 total, I think I heard.
They gave a lot of money out. So this to me was the biggest signing that they made. And I know a lot of people don't think offensive line is sexy. I like the big boys. Offensive line is sexy. Tyler Lindenbaum, to give him what they gave him as a center, maybe that's a little bit much, but it allows them to keep Jackson Powers Johnson at guard, who's really good at guard instead of center. So this was a big deal to protect Mendoza.
Here's what baffles me. How one position on the offensive line is seemingly worth more than others. And the reason I say that is, Pinky, what was Brady's biggest weakness?
I mean, pressure, if you could get it.
From where?
Well, pressure up the middle is always the biggest issue.
So wouldn't you want, in that situation, maybe not the best left tackle, because he's not necessarily mobile and stuff. He wants to stay in the pocket. So maybe not the best left tackle. Maybe you want the 2 best guards or the best center in the league. Like, depending on how you play ball, I think those positions can change importance a little bit. Not to mention the fact that centers aren't taken as a higher priority when they are almost just as much responsible for play call and assignment calls as the quarterback.
Yeah,
have a good center, it's worth a lot of money.
You can get away with not great center play. I mean, the Broncos have turned 6th and 7th round picks into starters that end up getting big money elsewhere once their deal is done. It happens all the time. It's the one position on the offensive line that, again, you can get by because you get a lot of help from the guard position helping them. Left tackle, you're normally on an island. Personally. I mean, we would agree that all 5 positions on the offensive line are very important.
I mean, you and me love the big boys.
Centers get carried a little bit by their guards.
I'm a big boy at heart. I'm corn-fed.
That you are. So the Raiders went out and got him. Then they went out and paid Jalen Naylor. And that could be really good.
That one surprised me quite a bit.
I
Now,
think
I will say,
they're paying him for what he might do versus what he has done.
but in a similar fashion, there was a former Minnesota receiver that did the same thing and then showed out for quite a few years, and that would be Stephon Diggs. When he moved on from there, he was the number 2 behind Adam Thielen. Bills took a bit of a risk there, and they gave him some money, and he produced as a number 1, one of the best in the league. So I'm not saying Jalen Naylor is going to do the same thing. I'm just saying it's not unheard of to see that jump when given the opportunity to produce. I mean, he's behind Jay Jetta. He's behind Hawkinson. That offense with the quarterback situation last year didn't have a whole lot to show. Maybe it works out. But this one surprised me for sure.
They may have overpaid him, but if you're the Raiders, you have to overpay. It's just what it is. They also picked up Kwity Paye from the Colts, which again says something about the Colts letting him walk. They picked up Quay Walker from the Packers. I was a little shocked the Packers let him walk. And then they also picked up Nakobe Dean. Like, I am digging these free agent signings. Like, this makes them a better team.
Even though they might have overpaid, I don't feel like they did so in a way that it was like, ooh, that guy. You can see the reason for, right? And like you said, they're the Raiders. They probably have to overpay a little bit to get them to come, given what their franchise has been. So, yeah, I mean, Raiders did some work, and it could all come undone here in a matter of hours. Or we could wake up in the morning, and there could be a new deal done for Max Crosby. And again, the ripple effect starts at the Raiders and the Ravens. It doesn't end there, because I would be amazed if the teams that were already originally thinking about trying to do something aren't already on the phones trying to figure out if they can do something now. So I would be amazed if we wake up and Crosby is still with the Raiders after this evening.
Another team has got to jump in, and at this point, because of a failed physical, you get a discount.
Look, Ravens gave up 2 firsts. I say you could get away with a first and a veteran on a contract that's expiring. Maybe you throw in a third, first and a third now. I even if it's a first and a second, that's still a discount. So, oh man. And then what do all these other teams do? What if he doesn't end up with the Raiders and the Ravens don't work this out? I mean, they could still work it out. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they just redo what the value is.
No, they can't. Not when they failed him on physical. They cannot work out another deal.
They can't. Is that how it works? You're
out
of the running now. You take yourself out of the running with that.
Their medical staff rejected the trade, so they
couldn't work a new deal and say we're willing to take on the risk because of these parameters now.
No, because he would still fail the physical.
Right, but can't you still failing the physical doesn't negate the trade unless the team wants it to negate the trade? I thought.
Well,
I thought the team had to make that decision. I didn't think it just automatically negated.
The team made the decision. He failed his physical. They rescinded the trade.
I get that, but can they really not redo a new trade then?
I've never seen anything like that ever.
I know we've never
happen.
seen it, but we've also never really seen something like this of this magnitude happen in this time frame in this scenario. So I think this is all kind of new water.
I don't think there's any way this trade gets reworked.
That's fair. So then new team, and we see new implications, and then the ripple effect from that.
Because the other 31 owners are pissed off right now anyways. 30 owners.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if he ends up in division. Like, I don't think it would be unheard of that he could end up with one of those 3 teams in the AFC West.
Well,
all of them could use a pass rush.
He can't end up on the Chiefs because they don't have that kind of money. I don't know where the Chargers are sitting. He can't end up with the Chiefs.
We've talked about this before. You've come on board. You can rework those numbers, my guy.
They've already reworked them by redoing Patrick Mahomes.
You don't think in that situation, if they could get Max Crosby for just a 1, the Hunts wouldn't go to Patrick Mahomes and be like, "Hey, new deal.
They just reworked
the rest of your salary in a signing bonus."
They already did that,
and then they open up everything.
They just did that.
Max Crosby.
They did it 2 weeks ago.
No, not the rest of his salary. I'm talking about the entire contract. There's so many things you can still do.
They're not doing that.
You
not
keep
doing that.
saying these things, and then they keep happening, and then you keep going, all right, well, maybe I'm on board now. And then you
No,
find something new
I'm
to
on
say they're not
board.
doing it.
Again, the bill still comes due. They're just lucky that they had a quarterback that signed a 10-year, $450 million or $500 million contract that they're basically able to every 3 years give him more of his money up front.
Right.
But
that's part of the reason why turns out they signed the contract. So both parties do.
But his salary cap numbers still escalate in future years.
I know. But again, every time somebody's told me you can't do it because the numbers, the salary cap, it turns around and it happens. And I keep telling you guys, if you have a magician in your accounting department, there is always a way to make the numbers work. Always. Always. It's just how intelligent is the guy that's looking at the numbers and his ability to then manipulate said numbers. I'm not saying it's likely. I know it's a long shot, but the fact that you can now go and get it at a discount, I think makes a lot more teams willing to play as compared to what it was before the original trade happened. I guess that's where I'm going with this.
I would agree, but there's also teams that now would have to drastically change their roster, or they would have to put more money up front. Not that they couldn't, but a lot of teams aren't that overall rich to be able to put, because they got to put all that money. They got to give all that money to him right now.
I know. It's. I'm just saying. I think there are people scrambling right now trying to figure out if they can make it happen. And very much so. Like Draft Day, the movie, is happening right now.
Happening real time,
probably
baby.
about 20 plus organization.
And I do think Mark Davis knows his dad would roll over in his grave if he traded with the Broncos, Chiefs, or Chargers.
Probably, but you know what I would tell Dad as he rolled over? I'm trying to actually win.
You're 6 feet under and I'm 6 feet above. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now.
Al got a little crotchety in his old years. And so stubborn that he didn't quite do the right things needed to win long term. Mark picked up some of that, and I think he's finally willing to let it go with the new regime he's got running the organization. Let's see what happens.
I'm hoping we wake up in the morning and there's a new deal in place, sending him somewhere else exciting.
You think Jerry's not trying to figure out what could happen right now?
Bleacher Report said Jerry is. They are not coming back to the table.
Yep, they blame you, Caleb.
That's cute. Anybody that believes anything Jerry Jones says out loud to the media should go ahead and just bow out of the conversation now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Act like Jerry isn't willing to make a splash, especially if he knows he's getting a discount. Come on now.
We shall see. All right.
Instead of using both of the first-round picks he got from Micah, he's going to turn around and only have to use one of them, and he gets Max Crosby back. That would be absurd.
I'm not saying it's not smart, but according to Bleacher Report, they said the Cowboys are out.
Boys.
Look, I think we've learned by now that just because you have the job doesn't mean you're any smarter at this than we are. So you can write whatever you want. I can say whatever I want. One of us might be right. Let's see what happens.
Let's go to something that I know tickled Caleb's fancy yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Malik Willis getting his shot in Miami. I kind of hate this for him. But I'm excited he's getting an opportunity. But let's be honest, Miami's been one of the worst 5 organizations in football for the last 30 years. So I'm not overly excited for this opportunity.
I think there's a pros and cons kind of list here. I don't think it's all as obvious as it might present itself right away. Because I hear people on your side, Pinky, and then I hear other people on the other side like, Malik Willis ain't worth it. First of all, I think the Dolphins got a steal. I thought 30 a year would be a steal for him. They got him at like 22. Second, I've said since he was in the draft 4 years ago now. 5? 4.
4.
I saw the potential. I would have taken him in the first round as the Steelers, and I would not have taken Kenny Pickett. But I also said with that, he needs at least a year to develop. You need to bring in a veteran, sit him, or if you're going to play him the first year, you need to build the offense around his strengths like Baltimore did with Lamar Jackson to start off, and then bring it along. Tennessee wanted no part of that. And I had some issues with Vrabel and the way he was handling the situation. And everybody was talking about, well, he obviously can't play. Look at it. This is that, and that's the other. And he goes and he gets a bit of an education for a year with Green Bay and LaFleur. He comes in, he plays well. Now, pros and cons, again, I think Orlovsky or somebody broke it down. Out of all his pass attempts in the NFL, if you remove all the dinks and dunks and screens and everything, or stuff that doesn't go beyond like 5 yards, I think it was, he's only thrown like 23 passes in the NFL or something stupid like that, which admittedly, that's not a great sample size. So you are going on some faith here. But what I have seen, especially in the last year with Green Bay, told me that my eye test was correct. And this is a young man who can play at a high level in this league. If you're willing to be patient, make sure you bring him along and give him some weapons. And let's be honest, Green Bay's offense didn't necessarily have a lot of weapons last year. They had a solid run game. And after Tucker Kraft went out, those pass catchers were suspect. And he still played well in the one start he had in week 16 or 17, I believe. So it was still a game that mattered. I like the potential here. I like his ability. I'm all in on him. But then you go to the cons again, Pinky. Miami has not been good. Their choices have not been good. The decisions they made have not been good. They are a franchise that seems to swing big and miss on epic levels for a long time now.
Jeff Hafley was a decent defensive coordinator.
But there's where I was going next. Who's running the organization now? The GM
I don't even know.
is a former Packer front office, and the head coach is a former Packer personnel, former coach.
Yeah, Jeff.
So these are people that are very intimate with Malik and do want him. It's not just like the owner wanted it or the GM wanted it and the coach is against it. This is an organization that is on the same page and wanting this young man to be their starting quarterback.
I mean, let's be honest. The options this year weren't great.
They're not, but I don't think that's an issue. I think what they saw, they're good with making this their franchise quarterback and moving forward with it for a number of different reasons. The draft isn't great. The free agency market isn't great. They believe in his potential. There's a lot of, I agree, situational things that come into play.
I'm worried for him that the team around him will not be as good, nor the coach, offensive coach, be as good as he had in the Packers.
I agree with you to an extent. But I think the saving grace in all of this is whether the owners made the right choices or not in the past, this is an owner that is willing to spend to try and get a good team. And so I think if the new GM, if the head coach are successful, they're obviously rebuilding for at least a year. I think everybody's on that same page there. I think they wanted to go get their franchise quarterback. I think they got him. And now they can start moving forward, even though they've got the Tua contract over their heads. So I'm interested to see what Miami does. I don't think it's a great situation this year, but I think it can get better considering the owner is willing to spend to put a product on the field. I think he wants to win, right? Ross wants to win. I think he's made that evident. He just hasn't made some good choices, and maybe he gets too involved. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't hate it for either, but I agree with you that it doesn't seem like a great situation initially.
All right, we can bring Robert back because I'm sure he's got feelings about this next one. Tua going to the Atlanta Falcons.
Again, I just don't understand why Atlanta keeps picking up washed up quarterbacks. Like, what's the goal? They had this plan. They had this grand plan, and then it never came to fruition. And then now here we are again. Like,
I mean, they took a risk. You draft a quarterback at 8 who's got an injury history in college, who's continued to have some injuries in the pros. Like, I'd still argue Penix probably still throws the best football in the league. Like, it's the prettiest ball you've ever seen.
It's up there
But
for sure.
I would argue it's one of the best. Like, if you just saw the ball in the air, you didn't see who threw it, you just see the ball, you'd be like, oh my God, that is like so catchable, so beautiful.
Every time you say that, I think back to that CFP game where he threw that rope up the sideline. What was it, like 30 yards? I mean, you and me were drooling and texting each other as soon as it happened. We were just like, oh boy. Like, so I'm not disagreeing with. I'm just trying to think of who else throws a really good ball.
So,
but you're right. It's up there for sure.
Now, again, the saving grace for the Falcons, they're going to be paying a minimum.
Yes.
It's basically we're paying you minimum. It's a 1-year deal. He's still getting paid a shit ton of money from the Dolphins. And at the end of the day, if Penix isn't healthy or falters, Tua can probably run this Stefanski offense. So it makes sense as long as, and I heard some people talking about it, Tua could probably beat him if it's a fair competition, Tua could probably beat Penix right now, based on his football and how he's played when healthy.
I mean, if you're being honest with yourself, the only reason you would say this is a bad deal is because you're a Tua hater. Plain and simple. Because the dude has proven he can ball in this league when he's on the field. Now, the injury and the concussions are a major issue. It's a major concern. I'm not going to try to downplay that at all.
He has to be protected.
But when he's playing on the field and he has weapons to play with, the dude is a legit top 10 quarterback in the league. Period. The numbers even back that up. He is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league, and he can put the ball downfield a lot better than people give him credit for. Atlanta has weapons that people keep wondering why they're not getting used. Tua's going to get the ball to those weapons. I assure you of that. The other thing is what Pinky just said. You're getting him for a vet minimum, which is, I think, like $1.3 million or something stupid like that. Why would you not do this deal? You want to release Kirk Cousins. You don't want to keep him around, which totally makes sense, aging and everything else. He has some injury concerns as well at times. So there's not really much of a difference between him and Tua. You're going to have to eat that money with Kirk Cousins anyways. So you're basically bringing in Tua for nothing. Penix is still recovering. Whether we think he can ball in this league or not eventually doesn't matter because the dude's got serious injury concerns that we have continued to talk about. And everybody said was a red flag when he was drafted. Pinky wasn't a fan of the pick at all. It wasn't a pick I would make, but I understood why they made it. But you're in a position now where he may not even start the season. So you need a quarterback. And if you can get Tua at a vet minimum, who has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback in the league, and you have all these weapons sitting on the sideline waiting to be used, why would you not make this deal? Like, I think when you sit down on the surface, maybe everybody's like, whoa, what the hell is Matt Ryan doing? But if you sit down and really break it down like we just did, you're like, damn, Matt Ryan just got a steal.
There's no risk.
A brilliant move.
There's no risk. It's $1.5 million. Who gives a shit? No risk.
And if he balls.
Let's
say he balls and plays all season. That has the potential to be one of the top 5 offenses in the league. Does it not?
It'd be tough to argue it wouldn't. Yes.
So, no risk, high reward. Oh, man. I think there's going to be a lot of teams wishing they had also brought Tua in at that deal.
All right. Robert, I'm going to let you announce this next one. Okay? This one is just for you.
Oh, man. Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs.
Hold on. You didn't do it right.
Oh, well.
It's Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker
What do you want
going
from
to
me?
the Chiefs.
But yeah, Super Bowl.
Robert, I'm going to let you do this next one. No, you fucked
and then I'm going to do it anyway.
Just stop. You fucked it up. Let's try again. This is what I want you to say.
He's got to up his game,
Action.
okay? He's got to up his
That's
game.
so funny. The Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III, headed to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I think it's a great deal. I really do. I mean, we had even talked during the season that he probably wasn't going to stay. So, and even Denver had some interest. So I was kind of secretly hoping that would happen. But I think the Chiefs is a good spot for him, especially with Mahomes. So, we'll see what happens. I'm definitely excited to see the chemistry. Not excited for when it goes against the Broncos.
I'm curious. I know what my feelings are. Caleb, what do you think about this deal?
I mean, I like it a lot for both sides. I don't know how you don't like this. You put a weapon in Andy Reid's offense. I think it's a win-win. What I'm interested to see is how much he gets involved in the passing game. Because if he gets, let's say, 15 to 18 carries a game, and he gets another, I don't know, 5 to 8 receptions or looks, I should say, this is a dude who's going to break a couple of those. And that leads to field changing opportunities. And the more you do that, the more you get fed or your number gets called. This has the potential to put him into top 5 running back category as far as stats and everything are concerned next year.
I like it.
I love this deal for Kenneth Walker. He's getting Saquon money, and he ain't Saquon. I also love this because Andy Reid doesn't normally give a guy 18 carries, Caleb. He somehow forgets that he can run the ball for stretches.
I said 15 to 18 for a reason. That's still on the low end for a starting running back.
It is, but it's on the high end for a Chiefs running back. Like they just typically don't. Andy Reid will like run the ball for like a series and then like forget about it for 3 series. I don't know why. Like I don't understand it. The amount of dominance, and it goes back to the Chiefs. If they valued a running game, they would have drafted Jonathan Taylor over Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they'd be practically unstoppable. Also, if Andy Reid would just remember, it's okay to run the football. We have an offensive line that will get you 4 or 5 yards a carry. That's enough. We're going to be good. Kenneth Walker is a big play guy. He's not quite the 2 yards, 3 yards. He's a little bit more of the big play. I think they're still going to need like a Kareem Hunt. Bring him back. I don't know what his status is. They're going to need that guy because he's not that guy. And except for last season, he has typically missed 2 to 3 to 4 games this year.
He has proven high usage tends to get him nicked up. And Seattle kind of figured that out last year and kind of used that more dual-headed monster with him and Sharp to produce a better overall backfield. That's why, though. So maybe he doesn't get 15 to 18 rushes. Call it 12, but then he gets additional receptions in the passing.
I just think the Chiefs overpaid in this case because he's not Saquon, and they're giving him. He's the 3rd highest paid running back in the league.
Yeah, but that again, numbers. People got to start putting into better context and understanding how they can be manipulated. Saquon got his deal with this cap number. KW3 got his deal with this cap number. So they're not apples to apples when you look at that. There's a reason the next guy up gets paid more, whether he's the best or not.
Well,
because the cap rises and there's more ability to pay.
He got paid more because there were a bunch of teams in on him, but they were in on him around 12 million, not 15 a year. So
sure, maybe the market pushed it up a little bit, but still, like,
good luck to him.
When there's more room on your roster to pay guys are going to get paid a little more.
So the Chiefs did get better at running back, but I can tell you where they did not get better, and that's in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, but what do they get in return?
So they got a 1st-round pick for Trent McDuffie and a little bit extra. They got some sweetener in there as well. Mm-hmm. So the Rams traded for Trent McDuffie. Good for them. That was a need for them. They also signed Jalen Watson from the Chiefs as well. So the 2 best corners for the Chiefs are gone. Now they do have draft picks, the Chiefs do, to replace them. But that's a big concern.
Yes and no. So I agree with you. Yes, it's a concern. But the reason I say no is because the Chiefs have kind of proven now that their ability to draft and develop secondary is pretty solid. They've kind of got a little bit of a formula for what it's worth. So I think
they've kind of done it both ways. Jalen Watson's a lower round pick. Trent McDuffie was a first round pick.
Right. So I think the cap space that they opened up is what they were really after. And the fact that they got a first back, now they have 2 first round picks. They went out and signed not ETN. I don't know why that name popped into my head and I said ETN. They got KW3. So now those 2 picks aren't going to be used in necessarily a weapon form in the first round with Patrick Mahomes. They can go be used in other needs. Like Pinky said, they got the sweetener. I think they also got a third back. That's a range where you're probably trying to draft a starter as well. Kind of a 50-50 there. But I think they feel confident in the ability to open up the cap space and their ability to draft and develop. They're in a good spot now to, like we said in the offseason, which this still is, previously, they're in a position now like the Patriots were, where that first kind of dynastic run ended. You have to reset. You can't keep reloading. You have to do just a little bit more than reload at this point in time to then take that second dynasty run. And I think that's exactly what they understand and realize, and I think that's what this move showed. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they go ahead and set the tone for that next path with this draft. But I think that's the point of this move.
They have to hit on those picks. They have to hit on corners again. I do love this for the Rams. This was like one of the biggest weakness for the Rams, and they've shored that up. And the Rams have a really good pass rush.
Now, hang on. Before you give all your thoughts, I'm going to interrupt you here because I want to throw this stat at you to even amplify your feelings and thoughts on this matter. The LA Rams have now traded 9 of their last 10 first-round picks since the 2017 season.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. 2017 traded to the Titans. 2018 traded to the Patriots. 2019 to the Falcons. 2020 and 21 to the Jags. 22 and 23 for the Lions. 2024 they drafted Jared Verse. 25 traded to the Falcons. 26 traded to the Chiefs. But here's the interesting one with the Chiefs. They traded their pick, yes, but they still have the Falcons' first-round pick this year at, I think, 14? 12. So, Pinky, yes, I absolutely love this for the Rams. Please elaborate now, good sir.
I just love it. The Rams know they're in a very small window with Matt Stafford. Obviously, the MVP of the league can still get it done. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, every tight end they have on their roster can make plays. Like, the offense is good. Shoring up the defense is where they needed to go. They're already on their way, and they still got the 12th pick in the draft. Like, technically, if the Rams want to get really spicy, they draft Sadiq at 12 if he's still there.
I was just going to say that. Now, I know I said he'd go top 10. Somebody will maybe trade up for him.
TikTok does not like that take, by the way, Caleb.
Dude, which they're laughing at it. What did Loveland go last year?
He went 10.
People are acting like it's some kind of unheard thing, and Sadiq doesn't have the ability to do so, or he doesn't have the talent. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's a very, very solid take for those that want to poo-poo on it. Do some research in your history. The only thing I can think of is they don't think Sadiq's that talented, and if you don't think he's that talented, go watch, because the dude is really good. Really. I would put him, in all honesty, I would put him on the same level as Warren and Loveland last year.
He's up on the level. I will absolutely agree with that.
So,
all right.
12 wouldn't be in the top 10, but it would be right there. Imagine if the Rams grabbed him. That would be stupid.
It'd be pretty nasty. All right, Robert, I'm going to tee you up again. You ready?
Hey,
God.
hey, did you send him the right script this time?
No, he didn't. So Mike Evans going to the 49ers after committing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers forever and ever and ever is now being moved, which was crazy because he made it almost written in blood that he was never leaving the Bucs. But here we are.
I had a feel of that he would be a Buck for life.
So here we are.
Here's what I was confused by. Mike Evans said, "I've never been a free agent before. I want to see how I'm going to play the field a little bit, see what's up." And it was literally like within 20 minutes of the window opening, he was signed. I was like, what just happened? How did he play the field if he signed right away with the 49ers? And I would go on a limb and say not many people had the 49ers on the list of Mike Evans teams. I didn't even consider it.
Agreed.
It's a wild pick.
I heard a stat today on Get Up, and I can't remember the exact specifics. But it had something to do, I can't remember if it was completion percentage, if it was touchdowns thrown. But Brock Purdy in the red zone was the best at one of those categories. And now he gets a true red zone weapon. The problem is, and this is going to be a little tongue-in-cheek, if their practice facility is still next to that electrical output, Mike Evans ain't playing at all.
Caleb's going the over and under is 0.
Damn.
I give him
And so
one.
the truth comes out.
I'll give him one game. He's going to make one game.
Oh, hot damn. But in all honesty, if Mike Evans is on the field with Brock Purdy, who I don't know how anybody doesn't put him in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I just don't. The dude continuously produces. And last year he produced with the depleted roster. You give him actual weapons, and I fully believe his stats verge on top 5 in the league.
Now, I'm going to go 2 directions with this, Caleb. A, that dude has some struggles under pressure. When he is not pressured, he lights people up like nobody's business because he knows the offense. He knows where his guys are supposed to be, and Shanahan, as Shanahan offenses do, scheme guys wide open because he's got like one formation that they run like 5
You're
plays.
not entirely wrong.
Not wrong at all. F you.
Well, I think a little bit you are, though, because one, how many quarterbacks in the league don't struggle under pressure? 2, how many quarterbacks are going to be successful with the weapons he's had around him as the last 2 years?
Last year was rough, but when he was protected, even with backups, he was looking good.
So I agree with you in a sense that the Shanahan scheme helps him. I'm not going to deny that. But I will disagree with you in the sense that he did things that a lot of other quarterbacks in the league would have failed with. And he didn't. So I think there's a little bit of give and take there.
Yeah, Jamar, you missed it, buddy. You're going to have to watch the replay. Oh, going to have to watch the replay.
Speaking
buddy.
of which, though, I will throw this out there real quick, Pinky. I just got an update, a Tom Pelissero tweet. I don't know what we call him anymore. And it very much echoes what I just said. Quote from Tom Pelissero. One GM summarized the feelings around the league as, this is very much bullshit on Baltimore's part.
Damn.
They got buyer's remorse and they used the physical as their way out. So
The ripple effect, man. This ripple effect is just going to grab your popcorn, baby. Get comfy because we about to get a show.
now for Tampa,
I just got a notification that they received calls from several teams inquiring about the availability of Max Crosby.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think Pinky's right. Something's going to happen before tomorrow morning for sure. But
the Raiders have to get this done. They they spent a lot of money, and a lot of the money they spent was money they were paying Max. So they need to get this done. For Tampa Bay losing Mike Evans, that sucks. We've talked about it before. There's certain guys that like you just don't want to see them playing in another jersey. I know that's kind of the fact of the NFL now, but he's one of those players I just like. It's going to be weird seeing him play. Thankfully, he'll still be wearing red, so it won't be too weird because the 49ers red, it looks pretty good. Looks a little bit like Tampa red, so it's all right. But
ain't no creamsicle though, baby.
It's not creamsicle. Creamsicle's the second best jersey next to this one.
For me, I think it's a three-way tie, and this is not being Homer putting the Broncos in there. I think the old Broncos is just nasty. But I think the creamsicle, the Broncos, and the powder blue Chargers are a three-way tie.
I'll take the powder blue Oilers over the Chargers. But
oh, shit, four-way tie. Oh, my God, yes, four-way tie for sure. The Oilers is definitely in there. Well played, good serve, four-way tie.
All right. Caleb, I know he had some thoughts about this one.
I don't get this for either party. I don't get this for Indy. I don't get this for Pittsburgh. I texted the group chat for everybody to get a little insight because we love doing that. The apple for the Steelers owner did fall far from the tree. He has created a complete new blueprint for how they're going to do business, apparently, because this is not how the Steelers have done business for the first 65 plus years of the franchise's history. So it's a divergent from the norm. Now, this has nothing to do with Michael Pittman. I think he's a good receiver. And I think at times he's shown he's one of the best in the league. Other times he kind of disappears. So you're not quite sure if that's because of Indy or him. Maybe a combination of both. You put him and DK Metcalf together, that's a dangerous duo for Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's doing it in a way where you still are unsure about some of your offensive line. Then you go and grab Rico Dowdle when you just drafted Caleb Johnson last year. You don't know who your quarterback is yet. Is Aaron Rodgers coming back? Mike McCarthy is a good play caller. Not great. But you're, once again, as the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're now putting yourself in a position where it feels like you're going to be just above average again. You're not going to be great. You're not going to be bad enough to reset. And you're kind of keeping yourself in this weird limbo area of purgatory year in and year out. So that's why I don't like it for Pittsburgh. For Indy, Pittman's better than Pierce. I didn't see anything where Pierce can be a true number one. I know it's a money thing, but then you way overpaid Pierce.
Absolutely.
So then it doesn't make sense as a money thing. Luckily you drafted Warren last year, who proved he's a true weapon. So you still have him and Pierce and JT. So you still have weapons for whoever you decide to bring in at quarterback. But Daniel Jones is trying to hold you hostage now. You limit whoever you're bringing in now with weapons where you had a lot of weapons. Now you're pulling away some of those weapons. What you got back in return, I think its value is okay. I don't think it's outside of the value there. I just don't understand the need to make the trade. So I think it was a bad move on Indy's part. What I would say now is, the moment I saw this trade and I saw Daniel Jones' asking price, I immediately pivoted and said, Indy should be at the top of the asking list for Kyler Murray. Whether that becomes your long-term answer or your short-term answer, and you're trying to then draft somebody to allow to develop behind him, fine. Let Daniel Jones walk for his asking price. You tell Daniel Jones we're willing to pay you 30 or nothing per year. And if you don't like that number, move on and go get Kyler because he's going to be cheaper. Period. End of story. And that needs to be your new move. I don't know what else you would do. Unless you somehow decide to keep Anthony Richardson and let him start next year, which, boy, talk about a wild turn of events that would be. Indy's making moves that don't make a lot of sense for the short term or the long term future. So I'm very confused by this move.
I actually love this for the Steelers, but I'm going to move on because we got to give Robert a little bit of time to talk tonight. Travis Etienne to the Saints. I don't know why you'd want to go to play for the Saints, but cool.
Well, like you said, head coach, this makes it a very intriguing situation.
I don't think it's a bad situation because I do think Kellen Moore is a pretty good coach. I'm just saying if I'm Travis Etienne and I have Denver calling, I have other teams calling, I may have taken those phone calls over the Saints.
It makes you wonder, because I think everybody would have paid him what the Saints did, or at least really close to. It makes you wonder what pitch Kellen Moore gave him that he decided to move in that direction, because that's what I believe made the decision.
So not sure. This one, I was still kind of shocked that Tyler Algier, he went to the Cardinals. They have 3 power backs on their roster, and he only got $6 million. Like, did teams hate him that much? Like, $6 million is not a lot. I'd have paid him $6 million.
Because when he's gotten true carries in Atlanta, he proved he could be a starter.
How many fumbles did he have last year? 0. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. I love
It's
Tyler
weird
Algier.
that they brought back James Conner on a reworked deal. Him and Benson both have injury issues. Tyler Algier never misses a game. It makes me wonder if they're looking for him to be the number 1, or if they just are going to sit him kind of behind everybody, and then when everybody gets hurt, he gets his opportunity. It's a weird move for Arizona. It's also a weird move for him to commit there. It's like, were they the only ones that were going to pay him?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Now, I do love this move. I love this move. But it's really funny.
You love this move?
I do love this move for the Jets.
The full circle of this move is absolutely wild.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
Geno Smith is a better quarterback today than he was when he was drafted by the Jets originally.
Sure.
Now, I could also argue the Jets' offensive talent is a little bit better than what they probably had at that point in time. It's still not great. The offensive system and the scheme isn't great. Now, Geno didn't have a choice. He got traded. So it's not like he was a free agent and he got to pick his team. The Raiders said they were going to release him. They hadn't released him yet. Now they traded him. So,
which, let's be honest, fucking great move by the Raiders to be able to get a deal done to get anything back in return for him.
And again, the Jets know there's not a quarterback in this draft worth taking. We're going to suck regardless of who's playing center. Might as well get a decent quarterback to at least make it seem like you're trying to win. You're going to lose anyways because the talent's just not there. And you'll get a top draft pick next year. And then you could do the funniest thing ever and still draft Dante Moore when he didn't want to play for you guys this year.
That's a fact. I said that to you earlier. That's absolutely a fact. Dante Moore and his camp right now are shitting their pants because they realize they very much did not avoid that landmine. Here's why I don't like this at all. It's for the exact reasons you just mentioned. I hate it. Why are you bringing in Geno, who's a capable quarterback, when you're trying to lose games? You don't want to win. Geno's not good enough to get you to the playoffs. There was no point in trading and wasting that pick and sending it somewhere else to bring him in when you could have signed anybody to play the position this year and get basically the same results that you wanted. Now you're in a position where you might get worse results than you wanted because he is going to win you a couple games.
The problem is
that's going to be Dante Moore's saving grace. He's going to be sitting there going, God damn, Geno Smith, you are my favorite NFL player in history now because you just won 2 more games than you should have, and you put the Jets at number 5 or 6 instead of 1 or 2. Now, here's another thing. Why are the Jets franchising Breece Hall? You're not going to pay him long-term. There's no point in it. He doesn't fit your current plans. You have Braylon Allen coming back from injury, who you drafted and has shown he's capable. Braylon Allen fits your timeline more than Breece Hall does. You have money to spend. You have way bigger holes and needs than a running back. There are so many things about what the Jets are doing that continue to prove why they are not a good organization. And I had somebody arguing with me on the talk when I talked about this last week, telling me signing Breece Hall was a good move. And they're building the defense. And that trade they made last week with the defensive tackle and stuff was a good move because they're building the defense in Aaron Glenn's image. And like, what? Like, I know Jets fans get delusional this time of year. And I'm all for hope, spring, and eternal. But you got to do it within the realm of truth. That's just bonkers.
Somebody's got to take those licks in New York, and at least they can say, hey, we're trying. Versus now a real smart team would have just said, well, Justin Fields, you're still signed. We're just going to run your ass out there.
Absolutely.
We're still going to lose the same amount of games as we did this year, and we didn't pay anybody extra money. But, you know, it's hard. It's the New York media. The New York media.
Who was super stoked about this deal? Everybody else in the AFC East.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We got two quick hitters. Kyler Murray. Rumors are he is going to the Vikings. That's the rumor. I love that, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also why I mentioned earlier, Indy should be really pressing to move up because why would he not want to go to Minnesota? Like, that would be the ultimate destination for him. Guaranteed chance at starting, guaranteed opportunity to compete for the starting role, and legit offensive weapons around him with a really great offensive-minded head coach. That would be anybody's number one destination. So Indy would have to make a push. Completely agree with you, PQ. Why? Give me a reason why you think it would happen and a reason why you think it wouldn't happen.
I mean, looking at the musical chairs, I don't know if there's a lot of spots left for Kyler Murray. So I'm really not sure. Like, unless Cleveland decides like we're finally going to let Deshaun Watson go, and we want a quarterback to play. Like, to me, Kyler's way better than Shador or I don't even really like Kyler or Deshaun Watson. That's a no-brainer, and you don't have to pay him anything. So, but if you look around the league, like there's not too many teams left that need a quarterback. So, like, and I think as you can tell, nobody's drafting a quarterback but the Raiders, like that is intending to start. I'm still intrigued by Ty Simpson. I'm still intrigued by him. I think he's still got some skills and some tools that might translate if he can go to the right system. But if you need a quarterback, Kyler's your guy. All right, last one. The Broncos have not done much except for re-signing their own. I do like this signing of J.K. Dobbins. When healthy, and I feel like he was just really getting rolling when he got hurt against the Raiders with that hip drop tackle.
Every time.
So
I struggle with this one, Pinky. Head from heart is hard to separate on this one for the Broncos for a lot of reasons. You know how I feel about JK. I'm obviously a homer. I think he's a top 5 talented running back in the league when he gets going.
The numbers say he is.
But damn, my dude cannot stay on the field. He can just not stay on the field. And it's not overuse or anything. He's just got, unfortunately, I think there's still a debate in my head whether it's just unlucky and just continuous injury after injury and he's not injury prone per se, or if it is legit just injury prone and his body can't handle it. Because when you look at his injury history, it's kind of like he gets this injury, which then you could see a path directly to why he gets the next injury for the body compensating and coming back. And then there's a direct path to the next injury for the body compensating and coming back. So it's like this continuous connection that you could argue with, but you could also argue that it's just dude's injury prone and the body can't handle the game. I am very much on the fence with this, and I am not trying to hide the brain from the heart situation with JK because you know where I've been with him. Is he a my curse guy, Like that, I don't.
He might be your curse, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and just think the Broncos are not done adding to the running back room. I do think they're gonna draft the running back to be available for if and when J.K. Dobbins goes down. Because R.J. Harvey can't carry the load like he did last season. He just can't. So good things happen. But I do think Dobbins, we didn't pay him a whole lot. It's basically a 1-year deal.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. And unless you can find his replacement.
I think there's two dudes in the draft. Two dudes in the draft, real quick. Two names. One is complete. Probably not going to happen because he's going to go too early. And it's going to sound homer, but I think Pinky agrees with me on this as the second best running back in the draft right now, and that's my boy out of Nebraska, Johnson. And the other name that I think is interesting that you might be able to kind of get a steal on because he'll go later because of his injury, and that's Singleton out of Penn State. And I think both of those dudes could be legit 3-down backs in the NFL, which then puts Harvey in a position where he's more just a gimmick gadget, which I think that's really where his position and strength lie. So that could be a good thing. I don't think they'll take Johnson in one of the earlier rounds, which means he'll be gone. But I think Singleton could very much be available.
I mean,
really interesting.
Let's be honest, bro. Like the top 6 guys, I'd be happy with. Like Love is probably not going to be a Bronco.
No, unless he somehow took a tumble down to the end of the first, and then that would totally be worth a flyer for the Broncos at the end of the first.
Jonah Coleman from Washington, Jadarian Price from Notre Dame, Emmett Johnson, Nicholas Singleton, Mike Washington from the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yep, those actually are all names that are already on my list, and we talk about when
we
start moving into our draft breakdowns more. Those are the guys, and I think the Broncos could very easily grab one of them. Just do they feel the need to now? Because those guys are going to go. Singleton, I think, is the interesting one because I could see him with the injury and the struggles from last year with Penn State falling to the 4th. And then that becomes a steal. But I would venture a guess all of those guys go within the first 3 rounds pretty easily. So, see what happens from there. I could also see the Broncos not addressing that position at all in the draft because they like what they have with JK coming back and RJ.
But the other guys are gone. So
I know. I just look.
They have 2 running backs under contract right now.
I don't think the Broncos, since Peyton has come on as the GM and now Peyton as the head coach, have really done anything that makes sense in the drafts that people have been like, oh, yeah. Now, has it worked out for the most part? Yes. Has there been some really big misses? Yeah, there has been. They've just kind of been more on the right side of wrong, luckily.
I'm going to throw this out, Caleb, and then we're going to give some time to Robert.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, based on the current roster, I would not be shocked to see the Broncos trade up this year.
What I said last week.
They've got 9 picks. I don't know if they're going to trade up for Sadiq. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if they trade up.
I know, and I'm not saying that necessarily would be the move either. But again, the fact that I brought their name up, I think we're very much on the same page. It feels like they're ready to make a move in this draft.
Their roster's just pretty. They've got depth everywhere at this point, so there's not a lot of open spots.
Their roster's in a good position. They've got cap space now to make some moves. They're looking to get weapons, not fill holes. And I think that changes the ability during the draft tremendously. So they are one of the teams. I think there's a couple others out there that you're going to have to pay attention to. I think San Francisco will be in that category a little bit. Not necessarily moving up, but willing to make a move for the right guy if they fall. Philadelphia is always in that position, right? Well, we just come to learn that Howie's going to do things that make sense and take advantage of people.
Hey, Howie's playing chess.
It would not surprise me if Buffalo's in that running a little bit because I think they feel like their window is on the verge of closing and they have to do something now. It wouldn't surprise me if they do nothing, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did something. So I think there's a couple teams in that category that this draft could be more interesting than maybe people think simply because they don't think there's a lot of. Again, it's like, what was it last year? A lot of people said that it's a weak draft. It's not a weak draft. It's just you don't see the big names at the top. But there is a lot of talent in this draft that can start and play and contribute right away. So it'll be interesting to see how it's handled.
Robert, what do you want to talk about?
Dude, F1 is back, and Australia was very interesting. Why are you all sad, Caleb?
I won't be able to watch any of it this year.
Why? Oh, because
He
you
doesn't
don't have
have
Apple
Apple.
TV.
Hook the boy up with your login, bro.
Yeah, I can probably do that. We'll link up off air, Caleb.
I use my mom's
Even
login,
then, I
otherwise
can't
would.
record. Do they have a go back and rewatch, or is it only live? Because like with ESPN, I could record it and I was able to watch it any moment.
I'll tell you in 30 seconds.
Perfect.
But you know, Mercedes went the good old 1-2, so that was exciting.
Ferrari.
Love that. Ferrari came in third.
3-4.
And Lewis in 4. I was like, damn, all right. This
Let's
is gonna
go.
get spicy. However, I do agree with Max's comments about it like being Mario Kart with it just pressing a button. There's
That
really no...
was Leclerc actually.
Was it Leclerc? Oh,
Leclerc
I think
said
okay.
literally on the radio, "This is like the mushroom in Mario Kart."
For real? No, that's
I'm still
exactly what it
following.
is.
Like I did as much research as possible to get a feel for what happened in the race. I just am not able to watch it.
I was watching UFC, so I wasn't watching the race, but I did hear some of the changes made it a little more interesting than in past years. So
I am very much interested right now to see if this is going to be a giant clusterfuck all season. Or
Yes,
if it is gonna be a fun season to
it
watch.
is saved, so you can rewatch it.
Okay, then we'll talk and see how you feel. I know that that's a. I'm not gonna make anybody share information per se because I know that that's not always a good thing, and I know how people feel about that, and I feel that way at times as well. So we'll discuss, and if I need to just try to follow along through the season and get you guys to tell me, I'm okay with that. So don't feel bad.
All right.
But yes, very interesting
that-
thing. So please fill in, Robert. Fill in.
Yeah, so that was exciting. A lot of overtaking just because again with this new hybrid battery and everything. Pretty unique. We also had a new I don't want to say record, but historic event, if you will. Lance Stroll finished 15 laps behind the leader. That hasn't been done in like 50 years or something. That was crazy. Aston Martin needs to get it together, man, because this is bad.
Yo, the fact that they completed as many laps as they did should be a goddamn win for everybody involved because they thought they'd be done after what, like 2?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that was fun. Max going from P20 to freaking 6th, like, or 5th or whatever, like insane. Dude's an animal.
Who was complaining about Mercedes not sharing engine information the way that they felt should be done based on them being their
literally everyone is up their butt about it.
I heard a lot of chatter about that. But
everyone is up Mercedes' butt about it. So we'll see what happens.
I get why Mercedes is doing what they're doing, but it does sound like some foul play, if you will, to an extent. I know that's your team, so I'm not trying to put you in a bad position, but you're providing engines. You should be providing all the information too. If you don't want to provide all the information, then don't provide the engines.
I plead the 5th on this one. I'm not going to answer.
On the other hand, why are you not building your own engine? Why would you get your engine from a competitor? That I don't understand that about F1 at all. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It boggles my mind too, because Ford is supplying for Red Bull.
Just the battery, though, right?
I think so.
Right now,
I have to double check.
Right
but
now,
that's
and Ford's not part of the grid, so that isn't necessarily a conflict of interest.
No. So it's spicy. It is spicy. It's going to be a really interesting season with these new regulations and things. And we got China this weekend, so. Got China this weekend, so that'll be fun.
What are the Piastri fanboys saying?
He crashed out.
Brown and Norris clock this one for themselves.
Well, Piastri crashed before they even got to the forum.
I'm trying to figure out how the Piastri fanboys are blaming this on Brown and Norris this week.
Son of a
I didn't. It's been very quiet. I haven't seen anything.
Oh, okay. Good.
I haven't
Good,
seen
good.
anything. What are you?
Nothing
son
about
of
the
a bitching?
papaya rules causing this issue for Piastri this week. Okay. All right,
That
good.
Shanghai race is at 1 a.m.
Yes, on
Ooh,
Sunday morning.
Nightcap?
Sunday morning.
Sounds
Sunday
like a
morning,
nightcap. I might be able to stay up for that one.
1 a.m. Yes,
Yeah,
Pinky.
1 to 3.
I didn't want to.
I'm
I didn't
out.
want to break it to you, but yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing 1 to 3 a.m. That's not happening.
Well, it
It's-
rewatches. You got Apple TV. You can
Right.
catch up in the morning, Pinky.
It smells like bitch in here. No, I'm just kidding.
The next one is at 11 p.m. That one I could do. That one I could probably do.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I could do 11 to 1. 1 to
3.
3 is like a whole different thing.
How
I feel
late
like you
is
can do this.
how late is wow, my head just went totally blank. What's the taco place that serves the giant margarita bowls?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzies. How late is Fuzzies open till?
Like 11.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn. Thinking if they were like a bar, maybe we go do a nightcap at Fuzzies and watch the race and hang out with some tacos.
Yeah, but the bar's got to have Apple One, or they got to have Apple TV to play
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. God, F1 is so stupid. You're trying to grow your sport and you throw your shit on Apple?
I mean, they got paid. I mean,
Long
Not
term,
wrong.
short term, baby. Business mind, whoever's running F1 is not on that page right now.
So
I
yeah,
guess the rest of
F1.
the world does Sky Sports though, and they still have that. America,
Yes.
America
Yes,
doesn't
America's
get
the
that,
only
so
one
you're
that gets screwed.
I guess that's the point there.
So F1 is back. I'm excited. It's going to be a really interesting season with these new cars.
Sorry, final question before you continue.
Yeah.
Just in case you're about to move on,
Yes.
because it felt like that's where you're going.
Yes.
How did my caddy boys look? What I know they didn't finish well, but anything positive I can take from the weekend?
They lost their mirrors in the race.
I saw that. I one lost the left and one lost the right. So is that what I'm? It wasn't the same year for both. So there's something to think about, or what am I doing?
That was really it. There was no display of much happening.
No good conversations over the radio or anything that I can take from, or damn.
Nope.
Okay.
The only thing is that Liam Lawson and Sergio Perez are still at their rivalry from a few years ago.
I did hear that. I did hear Perez is still not happy with Lawson, and Lawson doesn't understand why.
But
I can kind of side with Lawson on that one. It's not like he had a choice in the matter.
So that's
I would think Checo would be more upset with whoever is in the second seat of Red Bull, if anything. But even then, he's been very open about the fact that Red Bull wouldn't let him beat Max. So I don't know why he's holding grudges against anybody but Red Bull. It's kind of a weird. But hey, if that's what you need on your shoulder to be super awesome in the driver's seat, then
hell yeah,
Checo.
Yep. So that's what we got to take away from that.
Cool.
So now for the fun segment of the evening. Do you all know what today is besides the date and any exciting thing? It's Mario Day. It's Mario Day.
How does that equate? What does this make?
It's March 10th. So it's Mario Day. So Nintendo does a huge thing for every March 10th.
Why is March 10th Mario Day?
MAR10. Mario.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm there. I like that. Okay.
Yep.
Learning something new today. I like it.
So
okay.
It's
me, Mario.
Exactly. So they did the final trailer for Super Mario Galaxy, which comes out in a couple of weeks.
Saw that. Okay, that's why it came out today.
I'm super excited for this movie. I love the first one. As you can see, it's sitting in my now playing because I'm gonna watch it later. Because it's Mario Day. So I was gonna ask you, gentlemen, what is your favorite Mario that you've played, and have you ever beaten it?
I really enjoyed Mario Galaxy on the Wii, or not the Wii, on the Switch.
Beat the first level and then never played it again. And it's not because I didn't like the game; it's because I'm not a video gamer. But that is one of the games I own that I have not truly played that I really want to beat. So I like that, Pinky. I will say this, and then I'll let you guys talk because I don't know if I have much to base it on with my lack of video gaming. I haven't played truly played an open world 3D Mario game. I've beat 1, 2, and 3. And those are the only ones I really played. And so 3 is still my favorite.
I would imagine me and you both have a lot of hours in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. A lot. I got
Three's the
stories
best.
on 3 specifically.
We're 80s kids, so we have a lot of
I got
hours.
stories on 3 specifically.
Like it was Mario 1, 2, 3, and Ninja Turtles and Master Blaster. Those are like the games.
Yeah. There's some truth.
And
to
Mega
that.
Man.
Some truth to that. So, yeah, of course you have them. Duh. So 3 is my jam.
3 is the best.
I played bits and pieces of the N64. That's the first open world one, right? Where you jump into like the pictures in the
No, that's Mario 64.
That's what I said, isn't it?
No.
What did I say?
You said the first Mario.
No, I said Mario
64.
Oh,
Okay.
Did he? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear
Making
64.
sure I'm thinking correctly.
He said the first Mario on the 64.
Okay, my bad. I did word it like that. But yes,
Correct.
so that one I played bits and pieces of, but never
That
got
was
into it
great.
enough to get the feel for it and how awesome it is. And I've heard I missed out on that.
Yep.
So I really want to get into Galaxy because I've heard that's like just an evolution of those. And so it's awesome.
Oh, dude, I love playing it on my Switch because I can take that on the go. I don't have to do all the motion stuff.
I'm going to be bringing it on the plane with me to Disneyland, and Merrick and I are going to play it together, I think.
Nice.
I will probably play it, and he'll get some feel for it. But my absolute favorite, while I said 3 as far as like Mario games, I'm going to step a little bit outside the timeline ever so because it is still Mario in my opinion. And it's a tie for me between Mario Party, I believe it's 7, I think is the ultimate one. And then Mario Kart, any of them. Because I love Mario Kart.
Great picks. Great picks.
So any Mario Kart, and I think it was Mario Party 7 was the pinnacle of Mario parties.
We have a lot of hours on Mario Kart on the Switch because my kids were old enough to like actually understand how to play, and it was really fun until Junior got like as good as one of those Japanese kids, and then it wasn't fun to play anymore because he would just win every time. We'd have that moment where we'd get ahead of him, and then all of a sudden we were like back in 8th again, and it was just like,
if you ain't power sliding around every turn, you're gonna have some issues.
I don't know how the kid does it. Like I'm pretty good. I can usually beat my wife most of the time. I used to on the Wii. I used to be good like those Japanese kids.
Me and a couple buddies got to
Junior got really good.
We had a solid year where every Friday and Saturday night we were at one buddy's house. There was some recreational things that occurred, and then we went full hardcore tournament on Mario Party or Mario Kart for the evening. And you're talking a solid 6 hours of legit competition, and it was a lot of fun. So that's where those two come into play for me, and they're absolutely tied with Mario 3, a very close 1B or second, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, like I enjoyed Mario Galaxy so much that I have it in the collector's pack that came out with Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. They have a dual pack of 1 and 2. Just to complete the collection, because I have the first one from the Wii originally, so I'm like, I need to complete that from our Mario collection. So I even have Dr. Mario, if we're being honest. So, it.
So what's your favorite, Robert? If you had to pick,
my favorite, honestly, it's either Mario Galaxy or Mario 64, just because I have put countless hours into them, and this is like one of my main. Like you hear it from the Disney movie Inside Out. It's like one of the core memories. I remember opening
great reference
Mario Galaxy on Christmas morning and getting into it with my dad. And I remember one of my childhood dogs, his name was Buddy, but his nickname was Buddy Sega. Because any time that they were playing games, he would just find a way to turn off or reset the console. Well, I never experienced this in my childhood until one day my dad and I are jamming out to Super Mario 3. And we're on like 4 or 5 worlds in, and he comes in and comes to just lay down with us, hits the reset button on the Nintendo. Yeah, we both went on a walk outside after that. It was rough. It was a rough day in my household. So yeah, between those, between 64 and Galaxy, but 3 definitely has a special place in my heart. Just all that countless hours I've put into it, jamming out. Yeah. And now that we're getting good Mario content with movies and things, it's just great being a Mario fan. I love Nintendo. I wish Nintendo did more. I wish that I was more into some of the things that they're doing, like getting behind the Switch 2. Still can't do it. Have a lot of problems with it. But Nintendo's just, it's always been one of my favorite things about my childhood.
How big, Robert? How, I don't know if confident's is the right word, but I'm going to use that. How big and how confident are you in Nintendo and the potential of the open world and universe they can build with Mario in the movies?
Well, we're already getting the Legend of Zelda movie, but that's live action. I don't think that has anything to do with this specifically. However, if they do it right, I think it can be very successful. They've already done enough with the first movie to establish some world building. And this, I think, is just going to take it even further. So where we end up is a big question mark, because I mean, the Nintendo world is endless. There's so many things that you can do. I mean, we had Seth Rogen, Diddy Kong, or as Donkey Kong. I forget who played Diddy Kong. I think it was Jordan Peele, but I'd have to double check. But I mean, there's so much you could do with a Donkey Kong movie. And as you've already brought up several times, a Star Fox movie. So, I mean, there's just, you could end up getting to a point where you have a civil war and it's Super Smash Brothers, and
right,
you just go crazy.
That's so, kind of what is it out of the question? And again, my nerddom, while I have the ability to speak with you as an expert on a few topics, I am very aware and very open to the fact that it is lacking in most everything else. But could you not do the Nintendo universe very much like a Marvel or DC, where you look at venturing out into outer space in a sense where, yeah, Mario and Donkey Kong are on one world together, but then Star Fox is out there in outer space, and Zelda could be its own separate world, and Metroid could be a different world, and now they're all within this galaxy that you can travel through, but they're all their own little world. Am I out of the box thinking that?
No, not at all. But it gets to a point, like you bring up a very valid point with Metroid. Samus isn't exactly a PG character.
Sure.
So there's going to be at some point, kind of like where Marvel's at, where you have to push that PG-13 to R threshold. Well, Nintendo's going to need to do the same, where they're going to need to go from PG to a PG-13 type of level. And you have the I don't want to say anime side of it, because that's not a great representation, but for lack of a better explanation, you have the anime side of it. So there's so much potential, but we are so early on in the Nintendo movie making, it's hard to say where we go from here, because critically, the first movie wasn't a success. What were you going to say, Pinky?
I was going to say, we need a live action Contra and Castlevania.
Castlevania, the anime on Netflix is so good, Pinky. It's so good. Castlevania is Pinky, amazing.
But boy, those could go so awful so easily. Yeah. Both of those.
Like, do keep in mind that
they can be so good though too.
Until the last, I'll say, decade, I'll be generous. Video game movies have been abysmally awful. Terrible fucking movies. So while those ideas are great, it is not served well on the silver screen at all until these most recent years. And they're still effing it up. The Last of Us season 2, awful. Terrible. There's no reason why we need to already milk it for what the story already provides that I can just play off my shelf.
But on the other hand, Fallout, amazing. And, and you said it's not necessarily following the game, but doing a great job of taking from the game to create its own story.
Correct. And that's where if you take those liberties, that's one thing. But The Last of Us was doing the game. If you're going to do something, do it. Don't change it. Where Assassin's Creed did the same thing. It's its own thing in its universe, and it serves for the story. Now,
Wouldn't that be a benefit to Nintendo, though, in the sense that their games don't necessarily ever have a story per se? I mean, the Mario is princess gets captured, go save her. That's kind of the extent. You can manipulate that story 1,000 different ways. You don't necessarily have to follow a game plan. So in Nintendo's case, they don't really have any game. And I might be off here. They might have some, but they're big main characters that everybody knows and loves. None of those games have a true storyline that has to be followed, do they?
I mean, no, you have a baseline.
Okay.
Now, again, some of the big quarrels with the Mario movie that came out is that they're New Yorkers. So that was a new element brought into the movie that has never been in the games. And then they're transported to the Mushroom Kingdom.
But there's a precedent of that already set from the original Mario movie, though, no?
Again, that's where you have to like really look at those Easter eggs and liberties of like, okay, where are we really establishing something? Because yes, you have the characters of like, here's your background. Now what do we do from here? Because again, you watch the movie, Peach is a badass, Mario sucks. And he's having to figure this out as the movie goes on. So that's an interesting element, is he's not the hero per se like he is in all the games.
I like, though, and I don't know if enough people caught this, and I thought it was a great little throw-in kind of at the end, where Peach basically says, yeah, I came from the real world too, I've just been here a lot longer and learned, because I was here from birth, basically.
Yeah, we don't know why she's there.
And I don't think that got enough recognition when people were trying to bash the movie and realize, this is an origin story. Mario's not going to understand and be a badass right away. He's not going to get the hang of all of this. They are learning on the fly. Like, I liked that.
So, and I appreciated it too.
Against the actors they chose to do the voices at first.
Absolutely.
But then thought it worked really well based on the video game aspect and what they were going for in the end.
Correct. And that's why, honestly, for me, this next movie, not only is it coming out in a quicker fashion than I expected, they're doing more to build off of what the first movie provided and really expanding the possibilities. So I'm very curious to see where this galaxy element takes us, because there's just endless opportunity to bring in other characters, cameos, and to build a universe. So we'll see. I'm excited for Yoshi. Yoshi's gonna be great.
Pinky, you being the movie man you are, was the first one Pinky approved? Are you excited about the potential of the second and where they can go from here?
Yeah, the Mario movie was great. It's an animated movie. It's got enough for adults. If you love Mario, I mean, we grew up with Mario. I mean, Mario
Merrick loves it, so I get to watch it. One of the few that we can kind of watch together, and we both get to really enjoy.
I will say I don't watch as many animated movies as I used to, but Mario would be one of the ones I will watch for sure. So,
gentlemen, final thoughts. Robert, hit us.
Man, it's nice getting out in the world sometimes. I had a great time snowboarding these last few days with some friends and family. Just have just get an appreciation for just nature and just doing you. It's great. So always great to get out in nature and have a good time and just enjoy sports on a different level. So it's really it, man. I just love getting out there. It was nice.
Can't beat
Pinky,
that.
good sir.
I think I'm going to just share. If you guys haven't realized, there is a new star in WWE who's not even wrestled a match. And yet he's selling all the t-shirts. He's talked about constantly. Do not piss this guy off. He is very nice, but very evil. And you will get cursed. Love the Danhausen. I am a Fanhausen, as they say.
Agreed. I like it. Funny enough, I was going to end with something similar to that in asking you fellas a question. Now, he does his on purpose. Mine is unintentional, but yet still exists. Is my curse level on the same level? As much as I don't want to actually ask that, Pinky, are we... I mean, Danhausen came in instantly cursed my boy Dirty Dom, and he was over. Now he basically threatened Miz, and Miz is a smart enough businessman to know that I'm going to work with you and use it to my advantage, hopefully, even though it might blow up in my face down the road, and go with that. Miz sees the power. Am I on that same level? I just don't have control of it, and maybe you should talk to Danhausen about how you gain control of said powers?
Absolutely. I think you need some help to know how these curses actually work.
Okay.
Because
because you also picked the Seahawks and they still won. So I was a little nervous when you picked them because I was like, fuck,
yeah.
they're gonna lose.
My boy Sammy being what that is, and we know how I support. So, okay. I've been trying to break it through ways. Maybe I just need to learn how to control it.
You need
That's
some like sage or something. Like you need a young priest and an old priest. The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah. I think I need to talk to Danhausen and figure out how to control rather than get rid of. That's my new beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch BAM or hear about it, go check out the highlights because it's absurd. Second most points in the NBA game in the history of the league, 83, absurd. Threw a post up on social media. Good one. You guys should go check it out. If you had to choose, which movie would you rather be in? Wedding Crashers or Old School? So many similarities, it's absurd.
it's not even a question.
Give us your thoughts. If you have the opportunity to spend that quality time with your family, loved ones, inner circle, family, friends, whoever you consider that to be, do not take it for granted. Take advantage of those opportunities. Please, please, please. We always do, and we have no shame in saying so. Like, follow, share. Any way you can support us, we cannot thank you enough. Please hit all the buttons. All of them. Hit them all, except for the unfollow. Don't hit that one. We cannot thank you enough. Until next week, hit us up on social. You got anything you want to talk about? Peace.
Pinky in the building, reppin' orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. Hot take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild size.